Broncos country, what's going on? Hope you guys are having a wonderful day. We are going to take a look at all 18 targets that A.T Perry had last year with the New Orleans Saints. Try and get some insight on the strengths that he brings as a player, the ways in which he was utilized, as well as highlight some things that he has to continue to develop in, grow in, now that he's here in Denver working with Sean Payton and Pete Carmichael, who was his offensive coordinator last year. Big role in drafting him in New Orleans last year. So, y'all let me know what you think in the comments. Please be sure to smash that like and subscribe. I'll have my Broncos Chargers preview out later today as well. But let's go ahead and get started, guys. So, basically, how I'll do this, and I got a little different view right now just because I've been getting dinged for some copyright stuff, not to where my channel is getting demonetized or anything, but wanting to try this view. Hopefully that helps. But I'll highlight A.T Perry, where he's at before we run this play. Want to say he averaged 20.5 yards a reception. He was getting downfield quite a bit. When you look at these 18 routes, again, these were just targets. So not the other routes that he was running on the field where he didn't receive a target. But if you break this down, he had 6 go or fade routes, 5 post routes, 3 hitches, 2 what I would consider like a drag or an in, 1 corner route, and 1 out route, if that gives any context for kind of how he's been used. So mainly running a lot of go fades, a lot of one-on-ones, and then used to run posts. A handful of these out of the slot, which is what we're going to see here. So let's go ahead and run it. And you see, gets downfield, finds that open space. Derek Carr puts it right on the money. Nice big-time reception. Let's take a look at this next one here. And you'll see A.T Perry over here in the slot as well. Whoops. Just down a little bit more towards the inline. Almost lined up to where you'd see a tight end sometimes. Go ahead and run this. And yeah, this is one that I'm sure he'd rather have back. This is a little out. And he just kind of seems to be, he slips a little bit. That kind of messes up the timing a little bit. And this is kind of what I've noticed on some of these routes that aren't goes or posts, is that I think he still has a lot to grow and develop in terms of his breaks on some of these routes. So we'll run this one more time. So he just kind of slips there. The timing's off. And maybe Carr might have been throwing a hitch there instead of an out. I'm curious. All right, we'll go to the next one. Here you'll see A.T Perry here out wide. And he spent about 25% of his snaps in the slot. So most of his stuff was on the outside in terms of alignment. Oh, yeah, this is his touchdown where he just mossed Byron Murphy. I love that play. Boom. Coming down with it. This is where he can be a huge asset. He's like 6'5", over 200 pounds, big catch radius, and just high points the ball perfectly. Moss is Byron Murphy right there for the touchdown. That was awesome to see. All right, now we're going to see back to the slot right here. And yeah, another post route. This is one where, again, kind of drops have been a thing coming out of college from what I've seen from his like draft profile stuff. This is one in the NFL where you definitely got to have that, even with a little bit of contact there from the safety. Jameis Winston makes a good throw. You want to see him bring that down, but I thought he ran this post route really well. Just got to come down with the catch. But I love how quickly he gets downfield there. Here you'll see A.T Perry here at the bottom of the right, bottom part of the screen to the right. And I think here we're going to see a little miscommunication. I think Derek Carr is expecting him to run a fade route. That's why I counted this as like he should have ran a fade here. But I think there was some miscommunication on what he was doing because he's out there blocking. So, yeah, he was out there blocking. We can move on to the next one. Here you'll see A.T Perry down at the bottom of the screen, wide left. And this is going to be a hitch route. Have a deeper hitch. One-on-one coverage, dealing with some press. Does a good job of getting separation, but you can kind of see sometimes when he's creating separation, you'll see that he kind of uses his arms to separate a little bit, not the fastest with his legs out of the breaks. And that's something that I think he can continue to improve on with his route running. You know, he can get better at that over time. But nonetheless, he provides a nice big catch radius on those routes. I definitely can see him being utilized in a Cortland Sutton type of role in the offense. Hey, even we saw Michael Thomas used in some similar ways in New Orleans. All right, A.T Perry at the top of the screen here on the 20-yard line. And oh, yeah, this is like a deep curl or a deep hitch right at the sticks. This is 3rd and 11, so you're wanting to run this right at the sticks. But yeah, just a little slow out the break. Takes a shot too right there. Let's continue to move on. I think now we're going to see another slot post here from A.T Perry. You'll see him right over here. Let's go ahead and run it. Does a good job of getting out of his break. I think this one, it just sails a little wide. Like I thought he got off that press really well. Good release. This one just needs to be on target. That is open. Not wide open, but it's open. All right, you'll see A.T Perry here at the bottom of the screen to the right, 40-yard line. And on this play, I think this is going to be a fade that you see him run. Does a good job of kind of settling down in between those zones where the safety and corner are at. Does a good job of just identifying that he's not dealing with man coverage. He's dealing with some zone. And he does a really good job of just identifying. You can see here what coverages the Lions are playing to where he kind of settles in this little area. And credit to Derek Carr for making a good throw on the run too. That's a really great job by A.T Perry. All right, now you're going to see him, of course, to the left side of the formation. This is going to be another deep post. Let's go ahead and run it. And this is just beautiful how he beats this coverage. Carr with a good throw kind of continues to throw him open there. He does a good job of adjusting to where this ball's going. Good adjustment, full extension, big time play from A.T Perry. This was one of my favorite catches that he had on the year. And you can see, I mean, just with his speed being 6'5", he can really stretch the defense, and he's got that big body to make those big plays, catches in traffic, Moss and dudes, full extension, all of that. But I mean, I love how he just splits this coverage here. 24 isn't able to get back in time to help. 26 does not have the leverage. Great play by A.T Perry. Great throw by Derek Carr. All right, let's continue on. I think this is one that we're going to see from the slot. Yeah, we're going to see another post route run by Perry here. Go ahead and run this. And so, yeah, on this one, the timing's a little bit different because he kind of has to adjust his route a little bit with that zone coverage there from that defensive back, but gets around him pretty quickly. Adjusts to the throw right there in space and then gets upfield. Great job by Perry. Find the open spot there in coverage, make the catch. All right, A.T Perry is going to be at the top of the screen here by the 40-yard line. And on this play, I think this is going to be another hitch route. Yeah, you can see it helps that he's so long because it does help him still make the most of these kind of routes, but he's still a little kind of slow coming out of the breaks on these types of routes. You can see he kind of takes like 6 steps or whatever before he's fully made that turn. But hey, he gets the job done. It's not always pretty, but he's athletic and physically gifted enough to where he can still make that play and get upfield for the first down. Yeah, it's really nice. Sometimes it's nice to just have athletic ability that can help you even when you're not the most crisp route runner yet. Now, in this play, this is going to be a cool one. We'll see A.T Perry here down at the bottom of the screen by the 40-yard line here, or 36, and he's just going to run a go. And again, in one-on-one coverage, that's especially downfield, that's where he's going to just dominate. This is where he's truly gifted at, is just getting downfield and making these catches. Again, similar to Cortland Sutton in this way, right? But I think he can become a better separator than Cortland. And yeah, if Derek puts this a little bit more through or more down the field, I think he separates just fine. I think he's kind of having to adjust to the ball being a little underthrown and does that, comes back to it perfectly. Like really judges this ball out of the hands of Derek Carr very quickly, turns his head around, and he knows exactly where that thing's going. Great job. Touchdown. All right, on this one, we're going to see Perry here in the near slot by number 49, I think that is. It's going to be a little drag route. And yeah, but where he's like sitting in because of the zone. So I think he makes the right read there. But I think him and Carr just had a different idea. You know, Carr wanted him to be down the field just a little bit more before he made that curl. All right. And then on this play, we'll see A.T Perry here at the bottom of the screen. And I think this is where he runs this in route. Yeah. Great open field tackle there by Levante David. But you can see he could still be a little slow coming out of the breaks here on some of these other routes. But again, you can't teach a big catch radius. That's what he's got. Let's watch some more go routes. Here at the top of the screen. Watch this. I mean, just beautiful. The little hesitation kind of sets him up with this release. Just goes and gets it. That's what dogs do right there. Beautiful. All right, let's watch one more. Here at the bottom of the screen. See, gets a nice release and goes up and gets it, man, on 34. This is where he's at his best, again, is just in this one-on-one coverage, facing these shorter DBs. He's not afraid of contact. He can hand fight. I love that. You just go up and get it, man. He's a big-time downfield target. And then he lets him know, I just owned you. And then lastly, let's take a look at this like little corner route that he runs here. Kind of goes in first and then comes out. This is great stuff, man. Totally destroys him in man coverage. That was great. So that's A.T Perry for you. You know, you can see that he's got a lot of potential in this offense. I really do think so. And a guy who can play outside, a guy who can line up in the slot and really create issues downfield. You know, something that I don't think Cortland Sutton, if we're comparing him to Cortland Sutton, I don't really remember like so far seeing a lot of Cortland Sutton in slot, not really being used in that way. This is a guy that can totally help stretch the field from any part of where he's lining up, any part of the field. And I think he excels at getting downfield, those posts, those go routes, those fade routes where that's where he excels. I think he still needs to grow, of course, in running some of these other routes a little bit more crisp, but you can get better at that over time, right? What you can't teach is the 4.4 speed and the size, being 6'5", the catch radius, and I think just kind of that dog aggressive mentality that he has on the field. So y'all let me know your thoughts in the comments. Again, I'll be back with my video later today previewing Chargers Broncos. Please be sure to smash that like and subscribe as well. As always, y'all, go Broncos.